Hello, everyone. Welcome to World Wrestling Cast. We are your hosts, Todd Ratliff,
And Anthony Fraley.
recording live after the San Francisco G1 special. And what a G1 special it was.
Oh my God, I've got the worst headache in the world right now. I had to hold in the screams. I didn't want to wake your wife up.
So, 4 hours and a half of wrestling.
Something like that. I missed the first hour. I had some lawn duties to attend to today, but the last 3.5 hours was awesome.
It was. G1 special was tonight, as you all know, and it was from San Francisco and
Cow Palace tonight.
Cow Palace, an old historical building.
A very, very historic in the wrestling scene in San Francisco. I think Patterson used to wrestle there once upon a time. Back in the day. Just want to warn you all right now. Everything we're talking about is spoilers. We're not going to sugarcoat anything and say skip ahead a minute. You've been warned. Wait until Monday if you haven't to listen.
It's all spoilers here. There was 9 matches total. We're going to hit on all of them, but we're going to hit on some matches more than others.
Yeah.
First match of the night was a 10-man tag between the Bullet Club, and they were taking on
Let's take on Chaos, wasn't it?
Chaos. Yes.
I missed it, man. How'd that go, man?
Yeah, it went good. It was really just one-sided. The Bullet Club came in and just
Okay.
took control. The brothers just
All the Tamatanga and Tongaloa.
just came in, and King Haku was with them tonight.
Yeah.
That's their uncle.
I think it's their father.
Is their father? Family member.
Family member, and he is supposedly the most dangerous person to ever been a wrestler. So, I'd avoid him at all costs, make him mad. Say hi to him, though, for sure.
Yes. Rocky Romero came back tonight and wrestled a little bit. He was on fire early, but that flame got put out quick by King Haku. He ended the match against Rocky Romero with a monster pile driver, jumping pile driver. That's one of his old moves he used to use back in the 70s and 80s.
Oh man, that's some memories right there. I remember him coming out with that big fro and just sort of being that wild man and thrusting people and pile driving, man. Crazy.
That's pretty much all that match was just them dominating from start to finish. Match 2 was some of the hard hitters of the night. You had Zack Sabre Jr. and Suzuki.
Oh man, that's the shooters.
Against
Tomohiro Ishii and Toru Yano. That's those two guys got a weird dynamic. You got the super serious guy, and you've got the guy who's just a total prankster.
Oh yeah, he was running the whole night away from Sabre Jr. and Suzuki.
I don't blame him, man. I'd be running away from him no matter what. Sabre looks like he can tie anyone into a pretzel.
Oh yeah, Suzuki and Ishii were just trading forearms, vicious forearms for a good minute and a half, just trading forearms, headbutts, just a really hard-hitting match between those two. You can tell if that rivalry goes back.
You put those two guys in the ring, you're going to have decent, may not be match of the night, but people's going to remember, man, pro wrestling's probably a little bit real.
Yeah, exactly. That match was surprisingly won by Yano. Yano?
That's how I say it. I mean, I'm no Japanese master.
Yano? Yeah.
Toru Yano, yeah.
Toru Yano. Yano actually rode Zack Sabre up for the pin on this one.
Man, he's sneakiest player in the game.
Suzuki was not happy after that match. He actually flipped out, started slinging chairs in the ring, started hitting the Japanese boys outside.
Oh, hitting the young boys?
Hitting the young boys, young ones, young dragons, whatever you want to call them, outside the ring. He's one pissed off man. You can guarantee he'll be wanting revenge after this match.
Yeah, I feel bad for Terrell in the next time they meet up, which will probably be somewhere in the G1. Probably not in the tournament, but one of the nights they will meet, I'm sure.
Match number 3 on the night was another Bullet Club match. It was the Villain Marty Scurll and Hangman Page versus Tanahashi, the Ace, and Kushida.
Kushida, yes.
Kushida.
I just saw just the little highlight on the because I came in right after this match when I got here to Todd's, and that Kushida he can wiggle his way out of situations, and he can go submission for submission with Marty. That's I wish I got to see that. I'll have to catch that later tonight.
This was a quick match. The match only lasted maybe 10 minutes. It was another one-sided Bullet Club match. Tanahashi may have tweaked his knee in this. I don't know how that's going to affect him in the G1. He took a bad landing outside and pretty much stayed out there the last 3 or 4 minutes of the match. And Hangman Page pretty much took it to Kushida after that.
They're kind of building them into a rivalry too. It seems like just that hard-hitting, explosive style of Hangman versus that really super technical
Kushida.
Of Kushida. I mean, not like scientific, not like scientific, mat grappling type thing, but he does a good chain wrestling, I think.
Yeah. The Page did get the pin over Kushida with his finisher.
The buckshot leg is what they call that. That's if you've not seen it, it's a front flip over the rope.
Yeah.
Into full-on clothesline. It's not a person's not running into him; he's running into them. So he's laying them out with that.
Yeah, JR and them called it the rite of passage. I guess that has to do with.
That's the case. That's that weird sit-down thing he does.
Yeah. It was
like a pile driver.
Like a pile driver over the shoulder.
Yeah. Okay. My bad.
Yeah, that's all right.
Buckshot's the setup for it.
Yeah, he done that. He done that move before.
Okay.
So.
My apologies, internet.
Yeah. Like we said,
I didn't see the match.
Spoilers. Everything we hear is spoilers.
Yeah.
Match 4 on the card was Goto and Jeff Cobb for the Openweight Championship.
Man, I had high hopes for this match. I was kind of let down a bit, but at the same time, your son was attacking us with Spider-Man. So.
Yes, my little boy was going crazy on us tonight.
But it was they hit hard and they done their stuff, but
yeah, Jeff Cobb didn't.
He didn't get a shine like I thought he was going to get.
No,
but that's that could be, like I might watch this back later and be like, oh, it was an all right match. But I came in with like expectations like, he's not going to win the title, but he's going to really come really close.
It was not what I expected it to be. I actually thought that match would have been better myself.
Yeah, I mean, like more hard hitting. Not it's just I don't know. It's just it was the match right before intermission, wasn't it? No, they had one more.
They had one more.
The intermission, but it was hopefully next if they meet again, they have a little more chemistry. This could have been the first time they met. I don't know what the history is. Like actually met, for a title shot. So.
Yeah, Goto won that match with a reverse GTR.
That's where he does that clothesline onto his knee. He usually does it like onto their back, but then I guess he done it to his chest. So that had to hurt.
Match 5 on the night was the IWPG Tag Team Championship match between the Young Bucks and Evil and Sonata got their rematch.
Yes, and they got it in America on the Young Bucks turf. That's might not be their backyard, but it was right down the street from them.
Yeah, Young Bucks were healed up in this match. You could really tell. Matt, his back was. He still favored it a little bit, but not.
He didn't start favoring until he took that flat ass bump on the outside. He got flipped over and he landed right on his behind, and that's a
and that kind of
that caused him to start selling. I don't know if it's real or fake.
I can't. That's hard to pick up on it, but he that match was high flying. I mean, at some points of the match, it looked like Evil and Sonata were going to win the belts back.
Sonata especially, he was looking real good tonight. Evil's kind of being the spoiler, kind of, saving Sonata, but Sonata was really, they had him shining tonight. And,
toward the end of the match, Young Bucks were setting up Evil for the Meltzer driver, and Matt couldn't get him up, and Sonata came in and done his finishing move on Matt, and he ended up kicking out of it, which was surprising.
Yeah, because it wasn't like a kick out on one, but he was close to going under.
And
didn't they didn't Sonata and Evil do the Meltzer driver also?
Yeah, they also done the Meltzer driver on Nick.
On Nick, yeah. They destroyed him. A theme of the night was car crash.
Yeah, car crash.
From here on out was a pure car crash.
Yeah, starting at match 5.
Yeah.
After match 5, it was nothing but.
It was insanity the whole night. I thought. But
the crowd was if you got hit by a chair or got thrown into the railing outside, it was.
Everybody is bumping their ass off tonight. That's for sure.
Yeah, match 5 was. Young Bucks did retain tonight in a close match with.
It took a Meltzer driver. They didn't have the chair in their match, did they? On the Meltzer driver?
No,
okay.
No.
But it was. It was everything else was going on. It's been a wild evening for sure.
Match 6 was Okada and Ospreay versus Naito and Bushi.
Yes. I'm a Will Ospreay mark, man. Everything he does is gold. So I was invested in this. Okada, he found his smile again, it looks like.
Yeah, Okada looked like he was in a good mood. I was, if y'all listened last week, I was expecting this match for Okada maybe to do something different in this match.
I thought, I felt like, I kind of got this feeling he's getting ready to go down a dark path. His clothing's gotten darker. He's starting to sort of match Jay White in his color scheme. So
maybe they're hanging out more.
I don't know.
But Okada got out of Japan and came over to the U.S. and got a smile on his face.
Oh yeah, a Major League Baseball game will do that.
Yeah, he threw out the first pitch one day this week at a Giants game, and maybe he found some San Francisco women or something.
No,
put a smile on his face.
No, I'd say the baseball and the everything else went good for him this week. Plus American, you got paid good.
American food.
Oh yeah, he loves it. In and out. He went to In and Out last time he was here. Posted that on Twitter, and it was like he had the hat on and everything.
Yeah.
Just a pure enjoying life. I don't blame him. How'd that match end up going? That went.
Okada ended up hitting Bushi.
Hit Bushi with the Rainmaker.
Hit Bushi with the Rainmaker.
Yeah.
And won that match.
Yeah, I figured whenever that match was announced, unless they were, whenever it was announced, I was like, Bushi or Okada's getting pinned. I just didn't know how they were going to do the character art, but we'll see what happens next week. Poor Bushi. He can go though. He can flat out fly.
Yeah, Bushi took the more punishment in that than anything. Match 7.
Match 7. This is where I started taking notes. I was invested in these last matches. We had Takahashi versus Dragon Lee. And in the corner of Takahashi was Daryl Jr. He's on excursion from Japan right now, if you didn't hear. Now Takahashi and Dragon Lee, their history goes back to whenever Hiromu was on excursion. He got sent to CMLL to sort of learn some other styles of wrestling, and they had a mask versus mask match, and Dragon Lee's still wearing his mask, so it tells you exactly how that went. It was pure violent feud that ended, the only way two people with a mask can end in Japan. They don't do Hell in a Cell, they do mask versus mask.
Mask versus mask.
From the get-go, Dragon Lee went crazy. He done a sunset flip powerbomb on Takahashi, powerbomb to the floor, went back in the ring, done a suicide dive. I mean, just going crazy.
Yeah, they probably done 50 moves apiece on each other.
I mean, like they were going for it.
Yeah.
One point, Dragon Lee Naito, he done that leg sweep drop kick, back into the ring, and then he done the pose, Tranquilo pose, with the eyes, mocking them straight up. After that, Hiromu seems to have found his way. Started getting a little dangerous. Done a dive off the top rope and sat on Dragon Lee. Basically, that's the only. It wasn't a drop kick. It wasn't that thing Rey Mysterio used to do before the 619 or after 619. It was he just landed on that dude's shoulder and they crashed into the guardrail. That was an unreal spot. They start, this was sort of back and forth for a little while. Next thing you know, they're on the top rope, getting ready to do a superplex to the outside. Locked them up in the Tree of Woe.
Yeah.
Dragon Lee locked up Hiromu from the Tree of Woe. Double stomp from the top. He got like 6 foot off the buckle, it looked like.
Yeah, this hurt me when I seen it. This is
one of many holy shit moments.
Yeah.
And we couldn't really scream it because everybody's asleep.
People sleeping.
Yeah. And I didn't want to wake up the neighbors. It's been a bad enough week over here, but but
it's 1 o'clock in the morning if this tells you anything.
We are that dedicated.
Yes.
So after that spot, they start counting. They make it to 19.73, whatever. They get back in the ring. It was they start going insane after this. Like they found a new gear at this point. They start trading belly to back suplexes, and if they didn't land on their head 5 to 6 times a piece, not one of them happened.
Yeah, they were killing each other the whole entire match. I mean, every suplex, every power bomb, every Hurricanrana, every one of them were just hard hitting.
They were going, and breaks down. At one point, there's what looks like to be the standard clothesline spot. Not whenever a lucha guy's involved. Basically a standing Spanish fly into a pin combo. I've never seen. It's like a cross body block, but he's Spanish fly backflipped on top of Hiromu. I've never seen that before in my life. And Wow, we just got some
yeah.
hot news.
Hot breaking news
Let's
here.
finish this match right quick.
Yeah.
Put that hot news in there.
Yeah.
Because we missed it last week on the podcast. We've got 2 bits of news. But basically, Hiromu goes for his finisher, which is his submission finisher, which is called the D. Because everybody loves the D, is what he said to Ospreay. Lee picked him up for a powerbomb. No, he stood up again, and I don't know if you've ever seen Kevin Steen back in the Independence, but he had a move called a Steamalizer, which was standing up like a powerbomb, reaches up with his hands, pulls their head down so they're bent over, and instead of powerbombing them forward, he flips back. He landed Takahashi on his head.
Yeah.
Sickening.
I thought he was broke. I thought he broke his neck.
Yeah.
He didn't land on his neck. He landed on the bottom to mid part of his head.
Yeah, I mean it was gross.
Yeah, no back, no shoulders,
and
nothing.
The crowd absolutely gasped, and then they started their holy shit chant or whatever. Dragon went for his finisher. I couldn't catch the name of it. They said it, and props to Jim Ross and Josh Barnett for actually knowing the name of it. Basically, Takahashi hits a Canadian destroyer from the powerbomb position on Dragon Lee, picks him up for the time bomb. Takahashi wins. That was the first match of the night that had me truly invested.
Yes, and all the other matches previous were extremely good, but this match started the hard hitting New Japan style.
This one was right after the intermission.
Yeah, right after the intermission. So this got the crowd back into it.
Yeah, I mean, this is like the first match. It's the crowd pleaser, but they were pure fighting, and I loved it. Yeah. What's that hot news? I saw your phone.
Hot breaking news here. The UFC 226 was tonight, and Daniel Cormier.
Yeah, Daniel Cormier
won. He retained the heavyweight championship, and someone we haven't seen in WWE for 5-6 months or 4 months, however long it's been.
Yeah.
Brock Lesnar was sitting cage side at the event. After the match was over between Cormier, he entered the octagon, and Cormier has challenged Brock Lesnar at the next UFC event.
The next, or the.
That's just what it says on here.
Okay.
It just says the next UFC event.
Well, that's
So the next UFC fight for the heavyweight belt.
Oh, okay.
It may not be the next UFC belt, like 227.
Okay, but like New Year's, because that's when Brock is.
Yeah. So New Year's Eve, there's always a UFC fight, and I would.
Brock being back in the testing pool, it's going to happen.
Yeah.
We got a little bit of Ring of Honor news we didn't put on the podcast last week. Best in the World happened. Dalton Castle retained. The next night, Ring of Honor done a Honor Club pay-per-view for their Honor Club system, which is it's a good fee per month. For all that you do, you get all the back catalog plus specific events. Well, Dalton is so banged up, they decided to go ahead and pull the title off of him.
But surprise
who got it. That's the because it was Hangman versus Dalton Castle versus Cody versus the new Ring of Honor World Champion, Jay Lethal.
Jay Lethal has got the belt back.
Yeah.
And I don't know what angle they're going to do with it, or who he's going to feud with, or anything like that. But
I've not seen the next set of TV tapings.
I haven't either.
So if they're going to try to do something in a month, and then the end of the new episode of NWA 10 Pounds of Gold, Nick Aldis, he cut a little promo like, well, Cody, we had a deal, and it don't seem like you have your part of the deal. It's time to renegotiate.
We could see a maybe triple threat match at All In.
The loser wins the belt.
Yeah, loser.
Not all the belts, but winner.
Yeah, if you pin Jay Lethal, you win the Ring of Honor belt.
If you
pin Nick Aldis, you win the 10 Pounds of Gold. Pin Cody, you don't get shit.
You never know what might happen. So we go from there, and then we go on to the next match.
Next match in G1.
We're back at the G1 special. We get a title match now, which for the Dragon Lee Hiromu match was for the title.
Yes.
And from the looks of it, it could have went either way, and I would have been happy. But the next match, Juice Robinson versus Switchblade Jay White.
Yeah.
They've been having a lower card feud even before Jay got the belt.
Yeah.
And it's been back and forth. They were sort of friends in the dojo whenever Juice was, sort of getting reacclimating to Japanese wrestling.
Yeah, Juice was in NXT and got cut from NXT and came over to New Japan and made his way up the rankings in New Japan, and him and Jay White just started feuding pretty much as soon as he arrived.
Pretty much. Then Jay he disappeared for a bit, went on his excursions. Juice kept making a name for himself. He's the most flamboyant pro wrestler that I know of.
Oh yeah.
But that was basically they were setting up to the end of the feud. Switchblade's been trying to break Juice's hand. Juice broke his own hand, punching a chair. Trying to punch through to Jay White, and then Jay slammed a chair into another chair on his hand, so definitely broke his hand.
Yeah, Juice had his hand in a heavily taped cast, and before the match started, they came on the PA and said if Juice used his left hand to punch or any kind of
any sort of attack with the fist,
he would be DQ'd.
Yeah. So after that, the match basically started, and where they hate each other so bad, basically started brawling. Jake started getting the upper hand right away.
The 20-second count out outside the ring was not applied very much during this match at all.
It applied whenever they were laying down.
If
they were fighting, Red Shoes
just let them go.
Just let them go. He was letting them fight like men.
The crowd hated Jay White in this match. I mean, it was.
And it wasn't like that. Like, oh, this guy. They were booing. Everything he done, out of hatred. Jay started slinging them into the guardrail.
Yeah, hard in the guardrail.
If you hadn't seen it tonight, we highly recommend the second or third guardrail shot at this point.
Yeah.
First one, popped a guardrail loose. Second one, popped another guardrail loose. Third one was into the commentary section, popped the guardrail loose, and we got our first bump of the night by a non-wrestler.
JR fell
flat
on his ass out of the chair. I mean,
they hit him at a high rate of speed and bumped the table.
Yeah, and JR, this was not,
this wasn't part of the show.
This wasn't part of the show. This was,
Yeah, I mean, this is an accident, and I'm sure. Okay, I'm 85% sure that everything's cool with everybody. JR got a little hot about it because, I think he has a little thing that says, don't hit me.
Yeah, pretty much. And he's in his, in his 70s.
He's had a full career.
Yeah, and he's had a stroke, and he's not in shape.
Yeah.
I mean, he's an announcer.
He's an announcer. He's not supposed to be bumping.
No.
Well, so at this point, Jay White is in full heel mode, and he's on his knees, and he basically points at the desk with both his hands and like does the come on thing. Josh Barnett used to be the UFC heavyweight champion of the world. He's a legitimate catch wrestler, legitimate pro wrestler.
Yeah.
And he's still looking pretty in shape.
Yeah, he looks pretty jacked still. He's you got to think he's probably what 6'5",
6'6".
6'6" at least.
And he's got that amateur wrestler strength.
Yeah.
Just good core strength. And he might not be the fastest person in the world, but if he got his hands on Jay White,
he's gonna hurt him.
He's gonna hurt him. And
Jay White knew this. He did not want none.
He was running from him, and don't get me wrong, I think JR was hot about it, and I think Josh was hot about it because JR was involved.
Yeah.
If it had been Ian Riccaboni from Ring of Honor, if it had been Corey Graves, anybody else calling with him, someone younger.
Vampiro from Lucha Underground.
Yeah.
any other announcer.
I think it'd have been all. He'd have laughed it off with them, but it seemed like there was a little more.
Yeah, it got heated. I don't think none of that was planned. I think it.
And they were trashing. They were trashing the referee after they both got back on headset for the lack of rules.
Yeah,
because it's.
JR was pointing out the time,
pointing out certain things shouldn't be allowed because. Not even from, this got me hurt, but if you look at it from a, pro wrestling, why does this get the negative reaction? Because it's against the rules.
Yeah, the 20, there's supposed to be...
It's supposed to be a 20 count, it's supposed to be, if you hit somebody with something, yada, yada, yada. So, once everything calmed back down, they got back in the ring. Basically, at one point, there's a guardrail shot, threw sparks up. I don't know what sparked it.
I don't know if it was a guardrail, if it was a cord.
Combination of the two, but it was stupid how hard they were hitting, and every guardrail was breaking apart. And these are like the old school metal, old WCW, WWF.
Yeah, JR said something about that too.
Yeah.
He said whoever put the guardrails up should be fired. Should be without a job now.
Yeah.
For sure.
Well, once they get back in the ring, that's whenever at this point, Jay White's getting booed out of the building already. He gets Juice down and he stomps on the broken hand. He not just like randomly stomp on it. He's got his foot on it, holding it down, and he's doing the whole, doing the fist pump, and everyone's booing him. He's flipping them off at the same time, and then he takes his foot and stomps it.
Stomps the broken hand.
Stomps the broken hand, and that gets, fuck you, Switchblade.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Yeah, everybody was chanting, fuck you, Switchblade.
And the announcer started getting on the speakers, and I was like, oh, God, they're telling them to stop. It's time. It's a time announcement. So they go into even more, this is a big-time feud, so they start throwing headbutts. They're throwing elbows, Saito suplexes. I mean, they're killing each other. And Jay starts chopping Juice, and his chest starts looking like...
like a hamburger meat. His whole chest was all lit up and just all welded.
Wasn't bleeding, but
it wasn't bleeding, but it was on the right there at the top of the mountain from getting ready to bleed.
Yeah, but this is more back and forth action. There's an old school spine buster that Arn Anderson would have been proud of. On the apron though, to Juice Robinson, that was the first cringe.
Yeah, there was a move done during this match. I've been watching wrestling for 30 years. I've never seen this move done. Yeah. It was a Russian
the Russian leg sweep.
Yeah, Russian leg sweep off the apron onto the outside of the ring,
onto the floor.
onto the floor.
Yeah, I mean, so hey, you're taking a move that sucks to do on the ground.
Yeah,
You elevate it 4 foot, and you're going down to the ground.
down to the ground.
And
they didn't miss the mats. They land on the concrete. I mean that.
yeah, it was brutal match. Once they recover from that, this is where Juice starts making his comeback. He starts to get some offense in because Juice was the one who threw that Russian leg sweep. So he automatically undone 25 minutes of ass beating with
that one move.
He does a cannonball into the corner, and it's not like a jump. He sprints in Kevin Owens style, crushes them,
but a lot faster.
Gets a superplex in, only gets 2 count at this point. He's starting to catch up with them.
He blocks Jay White's finishing move 4 or 5 times in a row.
Yeah. Takes at one point, Red Shoes got turned around. I think he almost got crushed by Juice in the corner.
Mm-hmm.
So he turned around and cowered in the corner. Low blow by Jay White. That got the boos going ultra high this time. I mean, this crowd was not having any of Jay White tonight, and not like in a bad way, but everything he done was getting the boo that he needed. Then Red Shoes got turned around again, because Jay White about crushed him. Where Jay White was, he's counting the corner. Punch to the face with the cask. Hits Pulp Friction. Hits that finisher of his. Unprettier. 1, 2, 3. No, not tonight.
Jay White kicks out of it after getting hit in the face with
a cast. And a Pulp Friction.
There was a hesitation in the pin.
Yeah.
I think that kind of gave Jay White a little.
That gave him the breather. And Red Shoes was, scared for his life at this point. Jay White then went for his finisher, which, as much damage he put in, it was going to be the end of the match. It was going to be Jay White retains. But
Juice kicked out of it.
No, Juice didn't even get kicked into it, man. He had that roll up on him.
Oh, yeah, it is right. He kicked a roll.
He had a roll up. He reversed out of it, rolled him up. 1, 2, 3. And it wasn't a fast count. It wasn't a slow count. It was Red Shoes doing the perfect count.
Yeah.
And that was just as good a match as the one before it.
Better. If not better. I mean, this is telling a story the whole time, and I can't wait to see what they do next because sky's the limit for both of them, really. Yeah, I mean, this match didn't hurt Jay White at all, losing that belt.
No. He gave the belt some legitimacy. Nothing against Kenny, but he defended it, and he defended it on American soil. So I mean, it was the belt needed those 2 people to have before it. So that got us through every match except
the main event match. Kenny Omega versus Cody for the IWPG Heavyweight Championship.
Yeah.
And this match was...
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
I feel bad for their chiropractors tomorrow.
Yeah. They both put their bodies through hell.
Yes.
There was... I couldn't count how many spots there were in this match. I mean, there was...
Oh, I've got a note for every one of them.
Oh, Lord, there's...
And we've got 30 more minutes so we can do on this one match.
Yeah, like there was...
I mean, it was insane. It started off insane because you had Cody come out as a king. He got carried out Macho Man style.
Yeah, Macho Man style.
On the chair with the people carrying him. Then Kenny shows up, got the Bucks with him. Kind of tells you what's going on here, right?
Yeah, who's going to be, the Bucks are with Kenny.
Yeah, I mean, that's, then basically the match starts. After they get in ring visual introductions, all that. It starts off old school Memphis style. You have that collar and elbow walk up, and you got the rope break, and you got the hard pat in the chest. I'm here. Cody's playing with eyes, scratching Kenny's eyes.
Headlocks.
And headlocks and stuff. And then, it starts going crazy at this point. Cody gets outside the ring. He's hurt from something or other. And Rise of the Terminator, starts.
Cody does his thing and puts Brandy in front of Kenny as he's getting ready to do the...
and Kenny, he's such a gentleman. He stopped. And he's like, oh, come on, And, Cody was pulling the slimy, sneaky piece of shit heel gimmick to a T.
Yeah.
And, he's been doing it for weeks now. And then match goes on some more. Omega and Cody's throwing down. And he throws Cody over the guardrail onto the table. And then this is where the match starts getting a little interesting in terms of the Young Bucks.
Yeah, the Young Bucks are not wanting Kenny to put Cody...
Well, he's not wanting him to do too much.
Yeah.
Because at this point, Matt Jackson shows up. Nick Jackson shows up. He holds the guardrail for Kenny to do that springboard dive off of it.
Yeah.
Double stomps him through the tape.
Double stomps Cody through a table. And
oh, my God. This match was horrible in terms of what these two guys were doing. Then, if that wasn't enough, 3 seconds later, Kenny went and got another table out from underneath the ring. And Young Bucks, they're starting to try to stop Kenny now. Like, hey, man, no, this is too much. Don't. So, it's sort of started putting that thought in their mind. Were they getting ready to turn on them? I know this reformed Golden Elite, they had that big huggy moment. But, if they were so against Cody, why were they trying to stop him from, doing that stuff,
Yeah.
So, like, basically saying, don't go too dark.
Then they get back into the ring, and Cody goes and gets a chair, and Kenny Omega is outside digging for a ladder now.
Yes, and this is not some little cheap, 4-foot painter's ladder.
No, this is a 20-foot.
20-foot double step, pro wrestling ladder.
Yeah.
And, at this, we've had, a lot of action happen at this point. These dudes are smacking each other, figure four. There's a figure four in this.
Yeah, there's a figure four in this. Cody does a figure four to Kenny Omega, and he ends up rolling it over on Cody.
Yeah. Rolls it over on Cody, and, there's rope break. So, at this point, they're both dying at this point.
And there's a ladder still set up in the ring.
Yeah.
Toward the end of the ring.
Towards the corner at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was laying down at this point.
Yeah.
So they do that. They're outside and they're getting ready to do a suplex spot. Suplex onto the ladder or behind onto the ground. And that's where Cody does the hangman, drops Kenny belly first on the ladder.
Yeah.
And what happened?
Hits his face, like part of his eye. I thought it backlashed on him when he done like a belly.
It's like a belly flop.
Like a belly flop onto the ladder. The reaction of it kind of done like a teetering thing and hit Kenny Omega in the face.
Yeah.
I thought he was hurt.
It straight up hit.
It showed the replay on it, and it was.
You see it hit, and like he laid on the ground for a couple minutes.
Yeah, a couple minutes.
And so at this point, Kenny's dead. You know, his face got busted up. And that table he pulled out earlier comes back into play.
Yeah.
And Cody lays Kenny on this table. He goes back into the ring, and he starts to set this ladder up. Dead center of the ring. Dead center between the turnbuckles, right up against the corner of the ropes.
Yeah.
He's as close as he can be to get ready to go up top to do something bad.
Yeah.
Bad to Kenny.
Yeah, Kenny gets off the table.
Yeah. And at this point, Young Bucks are going nuts.
Yeah, they get Kenny, pretty much help Kenny.
Well, I mean, they're going nuts, so they don't want Cody to do this either.
Yeah, they get Kenny to his senses
Yeah.
to get off the table.
Yeah. And they're trying to tell them, don't do this. It's not worth it. So, at this point, Kenny starts climbing the ladder from the outside of the rope while Cody's already in the middle of the ring.
Yeah, you don't really. The whole time I seen this going on, I thought it was either going to be. To me, I thought they're just going to punch each other.
Yeah,
like they do.
Someone's going to fall.
Someone's going to fall. I really thought this was going to be a back.
Just a back bump.
Back bump off the ladder
through the table.
Not the top of the ladder. This is about quarter ladder.
Yeah, something like 6 rungs up. So a little over the top rope.
Yeah, a little bit over top rope. It had been a bad bump, but not what's.
Well, they keep fighting up the ladder, and they get up to where they're like 2 or 3 steps from the top of the ladder.
Yeah.
And they lock each other up into a suplex position.
Yes.
So now, the Young Bucks are holding the ladder down. They're telling them, move the table, trying to get the table scooted back farther, because it wasn't far enough away for a superplex
onto the table.
And that would have killed Cody Rhodes.
That would have killed both of them.
Well, Cody would have died first. I think he'd hit first. But then Cody gut punches or something. I don't exactly remember what happened, but Cody hits a superplex off the top of this ladder.
Yeah, so it's like, you have a superplex off the top rope. This is like a superplex. So you're coming 20, your body angle, you're probably getting about 22, 24 foot.
Something.
Like that.
I mean, and it was pure carnage. They hit the ring. Kenny bounced. Cody didn't bounce.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm going to watch this again when I get home in slow motion, and you all should too. And do frame by frame on it, because if Kenny hit first, and that like there was a good difference between them hitting, Kenny took every bit of that bump.
Yeah,
and he saved Cody, for that ring, starting to move a little bit for oh my God. Yeah, especially if he hit ass first, oh my God. So, that ends in a 2 count. Somehow, Cody gets a 2 count, because there was forever at this point before they got to the pin. Then Red Shoes, he gets involved. He's had a bad night. Red Shoes is usually perfect where he stands. Not tonight. He was in the way a lot. Cody tried to throw Kenny Omega. Well, X that. I was right there. Cody throws Kenny Omega trying to hit Red Shoes. Kenny stops, and Cody's getting ready to do something, and Kenny
throws Red Shoe out of the way
to save him.
To save him, that Cody won't hit him.
Yeah. And then Red Shoes was dead for a while after this point. And then all of a sudden, Kenny shows up. What was it, 6 V-triggers?
Oh, yeah, this is V-trigger after V-trigger after V-trigger.
Cody was out on his knees, taking knees to the face.
Yeah.
He's a brutal.
And the table that was set up outside comes back
Into
into
play.
the picture again.
Cause Cody's dead at this point from taking 700 V triggers at this point by now.
Yeah.
And Kenny Omega gets Cody up for. We don't know what's going to happen at this
No,
point.
I don't know if it's.
And he starts running towards the rope.
Yeah.
And Young Bucks are still freaking out at this point because they don't want them to fight. And he throws him
over
the top rope.
Onto the table, but the table does not break.
No. Cody hit right on top of the legs. Like when they showed the replay,
Yeah.
his back went right over the metal table support, and all it done was break one metal table leg.
Yeah.
And the table rolled out from underneath him, hits him in the top of the head, and he flat back bumps onto the ground.
Yeah,
from a power bomb. It was sickening. If that superplex wasn't bad enough, then he took this bump.
Yeah, after the superplex off the ladders, when Kenny Omega just flipped the switch and started beating the ever-living snot out of Cody.
Yes, Cody was out. He was leaning against the rope, gasping for air because he just died. And Brandy comes in, trying to tell him stop. She's on the verge of tears. It looks like.
Yeah.
So she's doing good in that regard.
Cody gets Brandy out of the way and pretty much told Kenny to
go ahead and kill him.
Go ahead and kill me.
Yeah.
V-trigger my head off.
Yeah.
Let it fly out to the crowd.
So he hits another V-trigger, pulls him up.
It's another V-trigger.
Yeah, he gets a big one.
He gets a big one. Cody's kind of leaned on the ropes. He hits a V-trigger on him.
Yeah.
And it kind of just like...
That was it from that point.
Yeah, that was pretty much it from that point.
Yeah. Kenny basically, few minutes later, goes ahead and puts him up.
Puts him up and does a one-wing angel on him and finishes him off.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, man, it was.
That's to me. That's probably the best match I've seen Cody in. That I've seen.
Yeah, this was the most punishment.
Yeah.
He inflicted on somebody, and the most punishment he took.
Yeah, it's just and everything they were doing looked like it hurt, and it probably did.
Yeah, they left it all out there.
Yeah. So after that, bell rings. Kenny's music's playing, and everybody's in the ring at this point. Both Young Bucks, Brandy's in there, and the Young Bucks are checking on both of them. Brandy's checking on her husband. No big deal. That's to be expected at this point. And
they kind of give each other the little bro
handshake.
Yeah. No hugging, no.
Yeah. After Kenny got his feet back under him, he sort of bent down as best as he could because he's hurting right now.
Yeah.
And gave a hand to Cody and helped Cody up, patted him on the back, and Cody went ahead and left.
Yeah.
So, at this point, everyone's happy.
Yeah. Kenny Omega thanks the crowd, thanks everybody for coming.
Does a promo, talks about how dangerous it is for him at this point to be the world champ because everyone's coming for him.
Yeah, and that was his first title defense as IWP G Heavyweight Champion.
And so he's going up the ramp, and this is where things start to get a little weird.
Mm-hmm. They start celebrating at the top of the ramp, and there's 3 members of the Bullet Club at the top of the ramp.
The Tongans show up, and you get Tama Tonga, Tonga Loa, and their dad or their uncle, King Haku.
Yeah.
And they're there, and they're clapping, and sort of giving the praise to the Young Bucks.
Give them the 2 sweets.
The 2 sweets, and they're happy as can be. And
you think the show is
just about over.
This is done. You know,
yeah.
they're doing the.
It's supposed to go off 12:30, and they usually do a little video package at the end of these things. It seems like so. They're doing too sweet, and the Tongans look like they leave.
And Kenny Omega and Young Bucks turn their back toward the
audience.
Turn their backs toward the curtain to leave.
Because they're facing towards the audience though.
Yeah, they're facing toward the audience with their back toward the curtain.
And a blur happens, and Kenny falls down, and the bad boy himself, Tama Tonga, is standing there. Young Bucks look like they just saw someone get shot.
Yeah, like it's in a ghost.
And Tonga Loa shows back up, throws Nick Jackson off the ramp, and Nick is just sort of bewildered, doesn't know what's going on, and Haku shows up and starts killing him. And it's, I called it that this was going to happen. I didn't think it was going to happen tonight. I was expecting this to happen a week or two from now.
Yeah, I was expecting...
Or the next, New Japan, and this... is a pure beatdown at this point. They come out to the ring, and Tama Tonga pulls off his shirt, his Bullet Club OG shirt, and he's got a shirt underneath it. It says Firing Squad.
Firing Squad on it.
Firing Squad, BC, and I think it said Death Penalty on it also.
Death Penalty on it.
So, at this point, oh my God, there's another split. Tonga Loa has the same shirt on. And they're just destroying the Bucks in the ring. Everything they do, just kill them. They hit their power bomb,
kind of like a doomsday device, but not.
It's like a doomsday device, but it's with a stun gun.
Yeah.
So he jumps up, 100 foot in the air, and hits that, kills. I think he done that to Kenny. Then there's a power slam. It's just like dismantles them.
Yeah, they're in the ring getting the little crap beat out of them for probably 4 to 5 minutes. And then
other
Bullet Club members come out, and I thought they were going to be against Omega and Kenny.
Yeah,
Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks, but
the first one out was Hangman
Page, and he goes after
Tama Tonga.
Because
he goes straight after Tama Tonga. Then Marty Scurll shows up. It's an umbrella shot on some one of them, and he gets taken out. It's like at this point they're going down. Yujiro Tokyo Pimp shows up, and Chase Owens.
They get took out.
But they, they're checking on everyone in the ring, and Yujiro gets taken out, and then Tama Tonga asks Chase, "Whose side are you on?" He didn't answer fast enough. Starts hitting him with a chair. Lays him out. And so the entire Bullet Club is laid out dead right now, except the Firing Squad.
Yeah.
And then Cody comes out. Limping.
Limping bad. Dead. I thought, it looked like he was going to be with the brothers.
Tama Tonga handed him the chair
to go to finish off Kenny with it, and
he does the right thing. He hits Tama Tonga in the gut with a chair, and then Tonga Loa, King Haku stole the chair from him.
Yeah,
and Tonga Loa beats him up, and at this point, the whole Bullet Club's dead.
Yeah,
they're all laying out. That Firing Squad make their case, and they go away. Will there be more? Possibly. New Japan's big on having factions with more than just 2 people.
Yeah. So now, to me, it looks like you have 2 Bullet Clubs. You have, just like back in the day, you had 2 NWOs. Yeah. You had the Wolfpack, and you had the regular NWO, black and white.
You're going to have the Bullet Club Firing Squad, and then you're going to have
regular Bullet Club.
And this is going to be a good. I mean, this G1 tournament's going to set up some, some bigger matches. Let me look at the block again, because I bet there's some.
I'm pretty sure that
Tama Tonga and Kenny Omega are in the same block this year. Block B.
That's going to be.
Oh my God, that's going to be a fight. So you've got Ibushi, who wasn't here tonight. You're going to have Omega. You're going to have Tama Tonga. And then on the other side, you've got Bad Luck Fale. Fale wasn't here tonight.
Yeah, Fale wasn't here tonight.
So who knows where he sits in this, because he's an honorary Tongan. So, I mean, he's real Tongan, but, is he on the side, he's the underboss, so it wouldn't surprise me if he was. But, I mean, that Tama Tonga match is going to be brutal, and what Tonga does to Ibushi might be even worse.
Yeah, it's going to be.
It's going to be bad.
Yeah, he possibly could be your sleeper, one of your sleepers now.
I mean, he just put himself into contention.
Yeah, this, we were talking about Ibushi, Omega, Okada, Hangman, and the G1. Now you got another person.
Yeah, I mean, let's see, Pages in the block with Fale.
Yeah, and Okada.
So, oh my God.
Yeah.
I mean, that could go bad right there. If Fale joins, I mean, God bless him. God bless Gato for putting this together. This is probably the best 3.5, 4 years of wrestling I have seen in my life.
Yeah, I didn't see any of this coming.
No, I mean, I didn't see Cody and them reforming tonight. I expected that to happen All In, but I mean, this is some serious stuff that they hit us with tonight. But I mean, it's a great time to be a fan of wrestling right now, don't you think, Don?
Yes, I mean, wrestling right now is peaking at this point of the year, and right around the corner is SummerSlam for WWE.
Yeah.
The All In special is right around the corner. G1 is starting up.
Yeah.
There's a lot of wrestling going on, and it is at a high point.
And every night of G1, they're just going to have English commentary.
Yes.
Every night.
Every night.
It won't be. It won't be Cyrus doing it every night, but it's going to be Kevin Kelly and probably Rocky Romero.
Yeah, Rocky Romero.
Probably.
So you have at least hear of English commentary this
so,
year. You won't have to just watch wrestling.
And they used to do it just silent and 5 or 6 nights just a camera.
Mm-hmm.
But it's going to be interesting this year. Man, that's covered the G1 special.
Yeah.
Right, man.
If you didn't get to watch the G1 special like we did,
it'll be on Access this week, I'm sure.
Yeah, it'll be on Access next. I don't know if it'll be on Access next Friday or not.
Yeah.
They might have something else, but you can catch it online. I'm sure there's places you can watch it online.
NJPW is going to have it on a couple days. So on the official website. So it's worth the $8 or something a month. Trust us.
Yeah, well worth it.
But I think that's wiped out the episode for us tonight.
Yeah, everything.
We normally do a top 5 wrestler, but it's just going to be.
It's almost 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah,
and
we didn't even write. We literally just watched.
Yeah, we really just watched the G1 and was like, man, we need to just do our show on G1, and I think the audience, the listeners out there, really needed to hear about the G1.
Oh, definitely.
Even though it was all spoilers, we warned you at the beginning and the end.
Yeah. But guys, no, for real, we want to thank you for listening to us. Want you to catch us on social media? We've got a Twitter at WrestleCast Show. Our email address is worldwrestlingcast@yahoo.com. We're on Reddit. Our name is the WWC, and I'll be making an Instagram sometime this week too. So just something I can take care of. But that's the best place to get a hold of us. Talk to us in real life. Ask us questions. We'll get to them. Tonight would have been a bad night because we literally ran upstairs to record this. But it's been a great day, man, I think.
Yeah, and if you're not watching wrestling, you should be listening to wrestling.
Definitely.
And as always, we like to end the show with a little bit of
Too sweet. Take care, guys. See you next week.
Yeah. Thank you.